Hello and welcome to the coaching session from leadershipmentor.com. This week I want to share with you some thoughts about leadership influence. And I want to start by defining really what influence is. Influence, in my opinion, is defined by the leader's ability to change another person or another group's thoughts, beliefs, as well as their actions. And so it's all three of these things, and it's not simply just one. So how do leaders actually influence? Well, primarily we influence by who we are and by what we do. And I think the key there is what we do. So much of our influence is driven by our behavior. And I think a lot of times leaders think that because they say certain things, that's supposed to inspire and motivate and then ultimately influence their behavior in a positive way. But the problem with that is too often leaders have kind of a disconnect between what they say and what they actually do. And we have to remember our team members are always watching what we're doing. So it's not defined by our skills, but really by personal characteristics. Things like honesty, integrity, positive attitude. So these are just three characteristics that our team members definitely hone in on, and they see that. And I can tell you, if you lose one of these characteristics, if for instance, if you do something and your integrity is lost with your team members, it's going to take a long time to build that back up again. So it's really tough to influence your team in a positive way without integrity, without being honest, without being outgoing and positive and supportive. These are all things that are going to really influence your team in a very positive way. So what isn't influence? Well, creating action or change simply because of your position or title, and this is really important. One of the first things that we tend to do as new leaders is, because we're wearing this badge that says supervisor or manager, it has a title, we assume that that title comes with authority that causes people to do what we tell them to do. And sometimes that's true, oftentimes that's true, but that is not influence. That's just simply kind of bullying people to do what you tell them to do. So we don't want to be a leader who leans on positional authority by any means. So kind of a final question I want to pose to you. If you were not a supervisor, team leader, manager, and you tried to do the things you're doing today, would your team members actually act if you were just a peer of theirs? And that's really when you know you have true influence over the people around you, is when they start to do the things that you ask them to do simply because of who you are, not because of your position. So think about that and really need to work on that as far as how you influence your people. It's it's an important shift that we want to make if we want to have a long-term successful career as a leader. I hope you found that helpful, and I hope you have a great week.